All right, today I have the SSL-UF1 controller, and I'm very excited to check it out. I actually have a story I'm gonna tell you about it, but first, let's open it up and see what comes with it. Already, I can tell this is much smaller in or narrower in size than their previous UF8 model and UC1. And I gotta admit, I love that. I think that's probably gonna be the biggest selling point for me. This is just my guess. So again, this is the UF1 from SSL. First thing I'll say is the build quality of this is awesome. It feels pretty much metal. So it is very heavy duty. I mean, listen to the sound when I just set it down. And it grips the table. Look at when I just move it on the table. Immediately grips the table. Now the looks are gonna be subjective. To me, I think this looks professional. This looks like something that belongs in an SSL console. All right, so first let's talk about the layout of this unit. We have a transport at the bottom, which is new for me. I have the UF8, and the transport you could use with the soft keys up at top, but this has a dedicated transport, which is awesome. I primarily am using this thing to write automation. So right above the transport is your automation modes. We have off, read, write, trim, latch, and touch. You have your cursor here to be able to navigate through the unit. You have this cool little wheel here. I'm excited to see what this does. Actually, I have no idea what that's for. You have a nice toggle wheel, which feels really good, by the way, to switch between your channels. And then if you have a lot of channels, you can switch through banks. You have your scrub, your layer. So I'm guessing this is probably something to do with these controls up here. And then you have different controls here depending on the menu or whatever is on this larger display, which is a new addition to this product line, is this larger display here at the top. I love that. I can't wait to use that. And then of course above your fader, which you're gonna be using primarily for writing and changing levels in your mix, is your channel display, which will show you information that is relevant to the channel that you're working on. And then of course your channel modes. Now as far as the rest of the things in the box, you have these 2 feet, so you can keep it up as a tabletop unit at an angle, which obviously looks really, really nice. You can see it from this side, it looks really good. And then we have our USB-C cable included in the box. It also comes with this USB-C to USB-B adapter. These are very, very handy. Also very easy to lose. We have our power supply and then our power adapters depending on your power situation. And lastly, just a tool and screws to attach these feet if you choose to use them. Okay, of course, now I wanna set this up and try this out in my room, but I wanna see it next to the UF8. So I actually have the UF8 here. So here is the 2 of them together. Look at that. This is pretty freaking slick. I didn't think I was gonna like it that much, but man, that looks good together. It certainly feels much more like a console. A big part of what plays a role here is the desk that you're working on and the space that you have on your desk. The desk is basically gonna be where this thing lives, where you're gonna reach to use it. Is it the centerpiece? Is it gonna be kind of off to the side? And that's an important consideration when deciding, specifically, let's say you're already in on the SSL controllers, but deciding which one is right for you and your setup. So now to set this thing up, I'm just going to connect it to power. I'm gonna connect the USB-C cable to it, and we are gonna launch our SSL 360 software. After everything's connected, you can launch the software by literally just pressing the 360 button, and it will pop up on your computer, as long as you already have the software installed. All right, so getting this thing set up was very, very simple. Once you have the 360 software on your computer, make sure that it is up to date. Then you're gonna wanna check for a firmware update on the hardware that you have. Once you know everything's updated, your hardware will show up perfectly in the 360 software. Then you can select the unit that you have and go to their layers, which is where you can assign the DAW that you are gonna be using, or multiple DAWs. If you're like me and you use multiple different DAWs, you can actually assign one DAW per layer. Something that's really cool about this UF1 in particular is their SSL Meter plugin. So you can download their SSL Meter plugin, put it on your master fader, And then on the UF1, on the large display, you can actually view your master meter, as well as a few other different display options depending on how you have your plugin set up. This is a really nice addition for this unit. It's always nice when you're working, especially mixing, to be able to just look over and see what's going on that mix bus. So that is a very cool addition to this unit. It's very easy to jump between the modes on here with the mode button depending on what you want to be adjusting in the mix. The channel wheel works great to be able to jump between channels. And then this little black little spinny wheel here, I'm gonna call it a jog or shuttle wheel, just allows you to jump around the timeline. Everything about this is sharp, sleek, tactile, user-friendly. Really excited about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. And this was something I personally have been looking for. By the way, SSL is not sponsoring this video, but Sweetwater is sponsoring this video. So thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring this video. Thank you, SSL, for sending this to me to review. It is, obviously, I love it. It's fantastic. I'll put a link to it that takes you to Sweetwater if you want to check out the details. By the way, the price on this unit is coming in at $699. It's half the price of the UF8. So fantastic deal. I'll put a link to both of them down in the description. Along with that, I'll have links to all the other gear I use in my studio. If you're curious and want to check that out, those are affiliate links. So regardless of whether you're looking for something that I have linked down there, or you're just going to pick something up, click those links. It helps support my channel. I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments. Let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of this content on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.